Nestled within the leafy suburb of Mossley Hill in Liverpool, L'Olivetto is an independent family-run restaurant supported by a dedicated kitchen team. Staff at front of house always on hand with recommendations from their tasty menu to their choosing a wine to complement your dish. Call us on 0151 724 5169. That's 0151 724 5169.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
The Warrington Irish Club, a friendly and welcoming club keeping the Irish culture alive. We have Irish and country music every Saturday night, tribute nights, race nights, charity nights and karaoke. All live sports are shown on big screens. We have snooker, dominoes and crown green bowling teams along with arts and craft. Pop in for a friendly welcome and book your event at the Warrington Irish Club.
At Gaeilge, we've been delivering essential infrastructure projects for over 40 years. Today, we're at the forefront of civil engineering, construction and tunnelling projects.
Gaeilge's values are integral in the way we go to work and are embedded in our family culture.
We put our customers first every step of the way.
Our people are the foundation of our business, with each and every one with the ability to make a real difference.
We want Gaeilge.
Nestled within the leafy suburb of Mossley Hill in Liverpool, L'Olivetto is an independent family-run restaurant supported by a dedicated kitchen team. Staff at front of house always on hand with recommendations from their tasty menu to their choosing a wine to complement your dish. Call us on 0151 724 5169. That's 0151 724 5169.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. Recently we went along to the Liverpool Irish Centre for a very special day of celebrations with Conrad and Gaeilge, and we'll be telling you all about it later in the show. Now there's nothing better on a Sunday afternoon than a good session of traditional Irish music, and that's exactly what we experienced when we went along to Jacob's Well Public House in Bradford. It was a Sunday afternoon of traditional Irish music and dancing, and we weren't disappointed. Sinead, what a fantastic session of music in there.
Yeah, it's great. We've been going a few years now, and twice a month. Sometimes there'll only be 5 or 6 of us, other times up to 30. It's different every week.
And the dancing, you brought the house down.
Yeah, we like a bit of dancing. We don't often have enough dancers present to do any dancing, but we've had it a few times, yeah.
Of course, you've been involved in lots of Irish things here in Bradford.
Pretty much my whole life, yeah. As a child I was taken along to the Cultus branch, which is where I learned to dance and learned to play, and of course made friends with other Cultus members across the north and the rest of the country and across in Ireland as well, yeah.
And of course you've been involved here as a councillor as well in Bradford.
Yes, I was first elected in 2010, so I've got a solid 15 years behind me of serving the people of this district. I suppose I'm only half Irish. My mother was a Dubliner and she was always involved in the dancing. She was the set dance teacher here in Bradford and got me involved in playing and dancing. And I've got an Irish passport, and like I said, I grew up being taken to Irish cultural events and taken to Ireland very often, and I'm doing my best to ensure that my children have access to the same opportunities to enjoy their Irish heritage.
Conrad, delighted to see you here in Bradford, and of course, how many musicians in there today? It's fantastic.
Oh, thanks very much, Martin. Yeah, it's really good to see the pub packed full of musicians and even set dancers. It's been a good couple of years since I've actually been in this pub playing music since I left Bradford, moved to London. So it's good to be back here, and it's just great to see that the session is thriving and doing so well.
And I'm sure the delight to see you back here supporting them as well and keeping in connection with the Irish community here in Bradford.
Yeah, well, when I heard that they were having a big bash in the pub, I thought, well, you know, I had the weekend free. I thought it's a great opportunity to come up and see some old familiar faces.
You're playing the uilleann pipes in there. How difficult is it to keep in tune with all the rest of the music playing the uilleann pipe?
Well, the uilleann pipes are notorious for going out of tune and being difficult. But to be honest, I've been very lucky. My set of pipes are a half set by Paddy O'Hare, a Belfast man, and he does all the reeds. He does every little bit of the pipes, and so thankfully I don't have many tuning issues with him. So I'm very lucky in that respect. Jake as well is one of the oldest pubs in Bradford, and it's great to kind of to host a session in this pub in the city centre. And I suppose where we are in Bradford, we're very close to other major hubs where there's first, second and third generation Irish, like Leeds, Wakefield, Manchester and stuff like that. So people travel from all over for this session, and it's nice to have a tune on a Sunday afternoon because it's very relaxed.
Of course, Conor, you doing your education here in Bradford and spent quite a few years here, but now you've moved down south and to London. How is that going for you?
Oh, it's very good. I mean, I'm very lucky in London to have such a thriving traditional Irish music scene where there's music virtually every night of the week. And, you know, as I was saying earlier, you know, I'm still in my 20s. It's nice to move around and explore new cities and live in different places. But yeah, I studied in the University of Bradford for about 4 years and lived here for 6 years. So it's nice to be back to support the session.
Yeah, Absolutely, and of course you're still back and forth to see your mum and dad in Belfast.
That's right, they're just east of Belfast in Hollywood County Down, so I'm there quite a lot, a good couple of times a year, and it's very easy to get over, just a quick flight over, and it's good to see all my family over there, yeah.
Lovely to see you again, Conrad. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Martin, thanks for having me again.
I've owned the Jacobs Well for about 7 years now. It's gone well. We've really, well, the whole area around us has massively changed in that time, and it's becoming a much more thriving centre of the community, I think, yeah.
So how did you manage to get this session of music and get these people coming in playing music on a Sunday afternoon?
I got the session because I already knew Sinead, and she was looking for somewhere to host, and we volunteered, and it's gone very well ever since.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure there's quite a lot of other people in there listening and enjoying the music as well.
Oh yeah, the regulars really do enjoy the sessions, and it adds a bit of life to it on a Sunday when otherwise it can be a bit dead and there's not much else going on in the city centre usually. It's something for the whole community, I think. Everyone seems to enjoy it and come down, so we do get just about anyone.
The atmosphere is fantastic.
Oh yeah, I love the atmosphere when it gets going. It really does change things up on a Sunday. It's been a bit difficult over the last few years with COVID and just generally the financial situation, but we're doing okay. Bradford, I think, is doing okay generally. 2025 is doing great for us, and the new city centre where we are works really well for us.
And I know that you've got people here today from Leeds and from different parts up here in Bradford. It's fantastic to see that people have travelled so far to be here with you today.
Yeah, they're great. You know, they like the acoustics in here and the atmosphere in here, and the fact that it is slightly different for every session, so we do get people travelling quite a long way to join us.
Now tell us a little bit about what happens here. Is it every Sunday, or when do you get together?
It's the 2nd and the 4th Sundays of every month from 2 p.m.
Lovely to see you, Sinead, and well done.
It's all right, thank you for joining us. I'm glad we could share it with you.
What fantastic musicians, and the dancing was pretty good too. It was a very enjoyable visit to Jacobs Well. And well done to them all in Bradford. Keep up the good work. It's time for a break, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Nestled within the leafy suburb of Mossley Hill in Liverpool, L'Olivetto is an independent family-run restaurant supported by a dedicated kitchen team. Staff at front of house always on hand, with recommendations from their tasty menu to their choosing a wine to complement your dish. Call us on 0151 724 5169. That's 0151 724 5169.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
The Warrington Irish Club, a friendly and welcoming club keeping the Irish culture alive. We have Irish and country music every Saturday night, tribute nights, race nights, charity nights and karaoke. All live sports are shown on big screens. We have snooker, dominoes and crown green bowling teams along with arts and craft. Pop in for a friendly welcome and book your event at the Warrington Irish Club.
At Gaeilge, we've been delivering essential infrastructure projects for over 40 years. Today, we're at the forefront of civil engineering, construction and tunnelling projects.
Gaeilge's values are integral in the way we go to work and are embedded in our family culture.
We put our customers first every step of the way.
Our people are the foundation of our business, with each and every one with the ability to make a real difference.
We want Gaeilge.
Nestled within the leafy suburb of Mossley Hill in Liverpool, L'Oliveto is an independent family-run restaurant supported by a dedicated kitchen team. Staff at front of house always on hand with recommendations from their tasty menu to their choosing a wine to complement your dish. Call us on 0151 724 5169. That's 0151 724 5169.
Welcome back. Now we're off to the Liverpool Irish Centre. Conrad and Gaeilge promote Irish literature, language, music and culture. And this year they made 33 presentations to people who are learning the Irish language.
Hello everybody and welcome to our 2025 Fáinne Award Day. A special welcome to the dignitaries from the Irish Embassy in UK. From London, the Deputy Head of Mission, Orla McBreen, and from Manchester, the Consul General of Ireland for the North of England, Sarah Mangan. It is a great honour for us that they are here today to present the Fáinne Awards. The fact that they were prepared to give up their Sunday and travel all the way from London and from Manchester to be here today serves to emphasise the importance they place on what we are doing here in Liverpool. These are historic times for Conrad and Gaeilge Liverpool. Last year was the first time in the 130-year existence of our branch that certificate of proficiency were awarded to students who passed an assessment in spoken Irish. Such is the interest being generated by the Fáinne assessments that a student really recently told me she had stopped watching television at night to concentrate on preparing for her upcoming Fáinne assessment. I am delighted to see so many people wearing Fáinnes here today. When Piers Beasley introduced the Fáinne scheme in 1916, one of his primary purposes was to enable Irish speakers to be able to recognise one another. Aithníonn fáinneoir amháin, fáinneoir eile. One Fáinne wearer recognises another Fáinne wearer.
It's an absolute honour to be here today for such a special occasion. I'm not going to talk for more than a moment or two because what I want to do is simply introduce Jim Doyle. Jim Doyle is part of and has been part of the Great Hunger Memorial Committee Liverpool for many years, and he's been working on a piece of art which is going to hang within our halls. So without any further ado, I'm just going to introduce Jim to speak to you for a few moments. Thank you.
This poor town of 250,000 people during 1847 was flooded out with 300,000 Irish coming over in search of food. They had to get out of Ireland or they would have starved. If they were in Liverpool and they asked the authorities for food, they had to be fed. Before the Irish started to arrive in Liverpool, there was a demand for daily feeding of about 888 people. After the Irish arrived, it became 15 times greater than that. To begin with, there was an outbreak of typhus. The typhus accounted for many thousands of lives. Then there was a national outbreak of cholera. not just in Liverpool, but that accounted for more lives. And although Liverpool at the time had only 2% of the population of England, the cholera accounted for 10% of the total deaths. Knowing that the anniversary of 1847 was coming up, the chairman of Conrad Gaeilge, back in 1994, over 30 years ago, decided to do something to mark the suffering of the Irish at that time. We set about and we decided what we wanted, what kind of memorial did we want. It was decided on a monument, and we had a competition, and we finally picked the one which exists today in St. Luke's Church Gardens at the top of Bowl Street.
The Irish language is the language of the island of Ireland. It arrived in Ireland sometime around 500 BC. By comparison, St. Patrick brought Christianity to Ireland in the 5th century AD. That's around 1,000 years later. It transcends all class, political, religious, and other boundaries. For people of Irish descent, the Irish language is not just another minority language. It is the language of our ancestors. To borrow a line from Seamus Heaney's poem, From the Cure of Thry, it makes hope and history rhyme.
Curumagocus snáb I Mádín Changan, faoi mar a laig fá níonán I gléomháin, a bheith fitte, fuite, begwilóga féla astrum, is bitumen agus pic bheith cumulta lena hón. An son a laga sias I masc na Gaeilgeach, is cogal na man si le taobh na hawan. Fécant ní ad a ríis cá dúrigh an srohé, fécant dal a bhuaise an bhórthigh inín aráin. Agus an dáin sin, this poem, it uses the metaphors that Nuala Ní Dhomhnaill uses so often. Go mór sa Biblia, so she takes them from the Bible, agus Sean Orsa, ancient text. This is no different. It talks about the Irish language as being like Moses, a little basket floating along the river, vulnerable always. Agus cowering tashdal, igoni freshen, help needed always. And she ponders and wonders, is there a Pharaoh's daughter out there who can possibly rescue the language that is the metaphor of Moses in this? And I think this is very, very suitable for today, because I think all of you in the room are those Pharaoh's daughters. All of you have given up your time, your work, to come and learn what is a beautiful language. I am very proud of everybody who's here today for doing that, and hopefully it will always be the case that the language issue will always be there, of course, but in a very good way. Agus go mé an Gaeilge ag fás a ríis agus a ríis, and that the Irish will grow again and again from you all. Gur magat.
Languages reflect different ways of seeing the world, and learning another language not only allows us to celebrate another culture, it also gives us a unique insight into that culture and the events and attitudes that have shaped it. You will no doubt have heard that there are apparently 40 words for snow in the Inuit language. Well, there are 32 words for field in Irish. And goodness knows how many words there are for rain or raining. So rain may simply be described as bóisteach or farán, but the story does not end there. The words ceomhrán and bradán describe drizzle or misty rain. Baharnach, clagart, clagarnach, dalceart are just a few of the words for heavy torrential rain. Fraran araic trí chlór darach, rain that will go through a board of oak, is a description for rain that might be familiar in Liverpool too.
Bhánam cóhorjas mór a rá le chuileganna anseo a bhíg fólam na Gaeilge. I want to say huge congratulations on behalf of all of us at the Embassy and our ambassador for everybody who's been learning Irish over the past while. And 33 Fáinne is really, really impressive. Any group or school the length or breadth of the island of Ireland would be really envious and impressed. So rinnesh of echt mór, that's a huge effort, agus cóhorjas mór. In the Embassy we've started having a few bilingual events, probably coinciding with myself turning up. Agus tá rial amháin ann. We have one rule at those events, and it is no apologising. Ná bí agrá ó tá brónarm níl mór an Gaeilge gom níl mo chuig grammar roa. Any level of Irish that you have is welcome and should be celebrated. So mata couple of focal if you only have a few words or a little bit more. We want to change some of the attitude in the old days where if you said anything wrong you would be corrected. It's kind of ruchashi my war, so my mother is a native speaker, and even though she has dementia and doesn't always know who I am, she knows all my mistakes. So there's a lot of new energetic things happening with the language. My sons tell me there's Gael Talk, which is Irish TikTok. I'm very familiar with Gael Twitter. Neil Gael X Air Fós, we haven't changed the name. But for anybody who's interested or wants to find out more, there are podcasts, Podcréilena, Coláiste Lurgan, one of the Irish colleges for young teenagers, every year puts popular music into Irish language. And there's just a lot of energy and enthusiasm about different ways of engaging with Irish. The Irish language has been spoken here in this landmass, not just for the Caitha for centuries, but probably for millennia. Agus Shivsha and Glúnis Jeannie, you're the most recent generation keeping it going. So, Lanner, thank you.
I have a small gift for you to remember us by in times to come, and to encourage you to come back again next year. Conrad Gaeilge cap, Conrad Gaeilge bag, and some thank you cards to remember us by.
Congratulations to everyone for keeping the Irish language alive, and it's very encouraging to see more people learning the language each year. That's about the end of the show for this week. We'll be back next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. We're looking forward to seeing you all then.